Welcome back to Research Methodology. In my previous two discussions on crafting a research topic, I have talked about the preliminaries you must bear in mind while selecting a topic, and then the various sources that you should consult and go through while working on your topic initially. Now, sometimes when you finalize a topic and approach your supervisor, he recommends you to revise your topic and narrow it down. In today's discussion, I'll be guiding you about what narrowing the topic means, what are the qualifications of a good research topic, and finally, how to turn a topic into an argument. Narrowing the topic. Here, first let me explain the idea of scope of research, because if you understand what scope of research means, you will understand very easily how to narrow the topic. Scope of research means the whole area of the subject that your study, your research is going to cover. Or, in other words, all the aspects of the topic, of the subject that you aim to research in this study is the scope of your research. When the supervisor asks you to focus down your research, he actually suggests that your topic is too broad and general and it needs to be more focused and specific. See, your topic should be clear for the audience, for the reader, letting them see what you exactly want to do in this research. Secondly, if you choose a broad and general topic, it certainly means you are ignoring the practical limitation of time. Your allotted time for completion of research is limited, and hence you cannot choose a topic that cannot be practically completed within the available time period. So you need to make it specific so as to have a manageable topic for your research. And specificity of the topic means instead of choosing a broad area of the topic, try to narrow your focus on one or two things which are significant enough. Now here let me explain that by aspect of the topic, I do not mean something that has already been significantly extensively worked upon, but something that is actually based on your own understanding and reading of the topic. So this is the basic idea with which your research is justified. Through this reading project and researching the topic, you aim to add something to the existing stock of knowledge. So narrowing the topic actually means choosing a specific manageable aspect of a broad and general topic. Here let me give you an example from the post-colonial critic Edward Said's book Culture and Imperialism. Now, if you go through the introduction of the book, Said introduces us to the scope of his research, the whole area of the subject that he covers in this book. So he tells us that he has focused on three modern Western empires of 19th and 20th centuries, namely the British, French, and American realism. And he has not talked about Austro-Hungarian, the Portuguese, the Russian, the Ottoman, and other empires. And then further he tells us that he has studied European writing on Africa, India, parts of the Far East, Australia, and the Caribbean. And he analyzes these writings as part of the general European effort to rule distant lands and peoples. Now, if you want to understand the concept of imperialism very simply, this is where you have it. That a powerful nation invades a distant territory and subjugates those people. So he has defined his focus on three empires and then on the literature they produced, talking about representation of their colonies, and then he specifies these writings even further by saying that he has more specifically chosen the genre of novel and how it has represented these colonized areas. And he points out that the angle through which he has studied novel has not been studied before, and that is to study this European novel in relation to its position in the history and world of empire. You can see that in the very introduction of the book, he has very clearly defined the focus and scope of his book. That he'll be talking about the three empires, the British, French, and American, and then he'll be studying the 19th and 20th century novel and argue how the genre of novel has contributed to the strengthening of this rule of distant territories by these three empires. Now the question remains how to narrow down the topic, and there are 3 points I want to add in this regard. The first thing that you must do is review the related literature. After choosing the topic, now you need to read extensively the works which are written on any aspect of the topic, and then you will be able to see how these works and the ideas which the earlier writers have contributed actually provide you a mass of ideas to establish the background of your research, and also a comprehensive understanding allowing you to see what this topic is all about, what are the different aspects already worked upon by earlier researchers, and then obviously you can see and identify an area where your research is going to be helpful. So if you choose too broad a topic, it's going to be harmful for you as it will require extra hours of reading. And as I mentioned earlier, considering the limited time span that you have you cannot afford to spend extra hours of reading which are not required. So that would be a sort of waste of time if you do not bear in mind the practical limitations of your research. So you have to be very careful about preventing yourself from straying away, from moving away to those things which are not related to your topic and your research. So once you read the related literature on the topic, here you can easily identify the already available work and then how your research will contribute to this existing body of knowledge on the topic. Basically, once you make up your mind about a topic that is of some interest to you, this is what you need to do first before you finalize your topic. So if you have read around the topic extensively, it gives you an insightful comprehension, making you eligible to contribute ideas on the basis of the knowledge that you have gained. In the coming discussions on thesis writing, I'll talk in detail about different ways in which you can establish the contribution of your research. Contribution is actually about proving the utility and use of your research, because if your research is useful, you qualify to be awarded this degree. So we'll be talking about that in our upcoming discussions. Second is, you discuss your topic with faculty advisors and specialists of a field. So what you need to do is decide on a topic, start reading around it, develop your own comprehension, and then at the same time talk to your teachers, scholars of the field. So through their guidance, you will be able to access more literature, develop better understanding of the subject, and sometimes excuse me, their ideas will help you refine your own argument. So this discussion with your teachers, supervisor, friends, colleagues, people who are related to the field is very helpful. The third is reading overviews of the current status of research in a particular area. So again, if you read around your topic, you will be able to see the different areas which have already been covered by researchers and those areas which are currently in discussion, so that you should choose a topic, or you should work on that aspect of the topic or the subject that is still being debated, that is still current, and it has not lost its value and worth, because as the time passes, some topics are so much worked upon, at least some of their aspects, that they are no longer valuable enough to be researched. So you should read the overviews given in encyclopedias and journals, which will give you the information to see where the topic actually stands at the moment and what are the aspects, the areas which are being discussed by researchers on this point in time. Let me here give you a rough example apart from the one I have just explained. For instance, look at these topics. Let's begin with the first one: narrative technique in the 19th century novel. Now, if you analyze and look closely, you can see for yourself that you will have like 4 months to complete your research. So choosing a topic like this, which demands you to study the whole genre of novel of the 19th century, is certainly beyond your capacity. It is unmanageable because there are dozens of writers. You have not specified any writer, or I mean even writers from a certain country that you want to study. So it is too broad and general a topic. Let's look at the second topic: the representation of women in 19th century novel. So again, although the topic, the representation of women, is slightly focused, but again your area of reading is still too vast. You will have to study 19th century novel. That is not easily manageable. And then let's look at the third topic, that is the representation of women in the novels of, here you mention the writer. Now it becomes manageable. You can, for instance, choose a title like the representation of women in the novels of Jane Austen, in the novels of Dickens, so on and so forth. So here it becomes possible for you to read 4 or 5 novels and focus on how they have talked about and portrayed female characters. So this one is a better, more focused and more manageable topic in comparison with the first two. Similarly, if you still want to narrow it down even further, this topic, the representation of women, you can, for instance, say the problems of working women in the novels of, and then you mention the writer. So here you again, instead of talking about women in general, are specifically talking about working women. So basically the point is to make your topic focused and specific, so that the reader should understand at first sight what this research is all about. Because if he is confused, it means you will lose readership. You obviously write for readers, for people to read your research. But if your topic is not well chosen and confuses the readers, there are great chances that you will lose a lot of people who might be interested in your research but could not read it because your topic was not clear enough. And secondly, you also bear in mind the time that you have to complete that research. So keeping these two things in mind, you narrow down your topic and finally reach a focused and manageable topic that is then uh, you know approved by your supervisor, and you start working on it. Second top point in today's discussion is qualifications of a good topic. What a good topic is, and what are the qualities that it must possess in order to qualify as a good topic. There are 3 qualifications I want to discuss here. See, a research topic is an issue in need of investigation. that needs to be read and researched in order to be understood better. So there are three aspects of a good topic. If it has these three qualities, it is a good topic which will be easily approved by your supervisor. The first is researchability. Researchability means that it can be easily studied through collecting and analyzing data. There are no hindrances in collecting and analyzing data, because sometimes you may choose a topic that is difficult to study. You do not have sufficient data available on it. So it is not practical for a beginner researcher to choose a topic that he does not have the capabilities to deal with. And second, it also means there is little literature available on the topic. The topic is, you can say, too fresh, and there is still not much research available on it. So for a beginner, this would not be a wise choice to begin with. He should rather choose a topic that has some background, so that he may study around the topic, see what other researchers have contributed, and then bring in his own ideas and arguments. But if it is a topic that is barely researched upon, this is not advisable for a beginner researcher to take it and choose it. Yes, a researcher who is well experienced and spent years in the field and certainly has mature research skills can be expected to work on it. Rather, it is the um, the duty of a seasoned, experienced, knowledgeable researcher to deal with these topics. So in researchability, you need to consider three things: your own capabilities as a researcher, your skills; second, availability of data and its access, because sometimes the data is available but it cannot be easily accessed. It is in the custody and possession of, let's say, secret service agencies, or it is labeled as confidential and will not be shared with the researcher. So while choosing a topic, you must consider these three aspects which I have explained under the point researchability: researcher's own skills, availability of data, and then your easy access to data that is relevant to your topic. The second qualification of a good topic is significance, that it should be uh, useful enough to contribute to improvement of a certain practice in the field or people's understanding of the subject. So if he performs either of these two, he it refines by analyzing, by collecting data, a certain practice that is going on in a field, and provides recommendations to improve it, or in the second case, at least it brings in some more knowledge, either challenging the already available interpretation and knowledge or adding to it. So it can be done either way. So if the topic is too narrow, it will not be accepted, it will not be approved, because if it is you know, too limited, it does not qualify as a good research topic. Yes, it can be chosen for an assignment, for a term paper, for an article, but not for a full length research project. Similarly, if the topic is too insignificant, it has no utility, no use, it is simply uh, of no importance, or it is too superficial to qualify for extensive study. See, you are going to spend a lot of time reading this topic. So, if it is not important or it is too ordinary, this will be a waste of time, and the university authorities will be reluctant to award you a higher degree for doing something that has no importance or that is too ordinary. So this is what significance is, that it should be important enough, it should be useful enough to improve a certain practice going on in a profession, in a field of knowledge, in society, or it should add to the existing body of knowledge. And by addition, addition can be made in multiple ways. I'll talk in detail about contribution and multiple ways in which you actually justify your research in my upcoming discussions. The third qualification of a good topic is manageability. That the topic should be manageable. Again, you have to consider the three things: research skills of the researcher. He is, uh, you know, skillful enough to deal adequately with the topic and justify with it. If he takes up the topic but lacks the necessary, the required research skills, obviously he will not be able to justify this topic. And sometimes, if the topic is too complex and the researcher who does not have mature research skills starts dealing with it, it is more likely that he will only end up entangling things even more. He'll create more confusion instead of finding a convincing and satisfactory interpretation of the topic. And secondly, available resources, whatever is required to work on that topic. For instance, sometimes you need a lot of funds, a lot of money to complete that topic. For instance, you want to conduct surveys in KPK and you want to meet people uh, over a week. It means you need a lot of traveling expenses, and then uh, the money that you will need to stay there, spend your time, travel from place to place. So all this actually requires funds, research grant, or sometimes it can be afforded by the researcher himself, but it must be considered and anticipated by the researcher, because if he does not, he is going to enter a big trouble. And the third is time span, the time that he has to complete this project. So if he, as a researcher, considers the manageability aspect of the topic, he knows his research skills, resources required, and the time that is available, and chooses the topic accordingly. If the topic meets these aspects of manageability, it is a good topic. So in resources, we have primary and secondary sources on the topic, and we'll talk about what is the difference between primary and secondary sources in another discussion. Similarly, Sometimes, the institutes, the universities, the departments have certain restrictions on length. So he should know the minimum and maximum number of words allowed. In conclusion, if a topic possesses these three qualities, researchability, significance, and manageability, it will be considered a good topic. Now let's move on to the next point in this discussion, how to turn a topic into an argument. So once you have decided on a topic, now what you need to do is, and what you need to understand is, research is not simply reading and writing unless you have an argument. So after limiting the scope of the topic, now you need to give it a direction, telling the readers, the supervisor, exactly what your point of view is going to be about the topic. And certainly the whole project of research is being conducted to elaborate and flesh out your own viewpoint on the topic. So a topic should be appropriate, well defined, and carefully phrased. And remember, as I've just mentioned, a good research is always an argument. It is not about stating facts the way things are, or quoting and rephrasing ideas from other people. You actually try to establish an idea or ideas through analysis and presentation of evidence. This is what is actually the aim of your research. You are doing everything, reading, analyzing, and presenting evidence for the sake of establishing a viewpoint that is yours, how you interpret that topic. So this is how you actually generate ideas after reading. So research is actually an activity which teaches us to produce knowledge instead of simply consuming it. So throughout our education, we spend years consuming knowledge, absorbing it, trying to understand things, developing basic concepts. But in research, what you're expected to do is to generate, to produce knowledge, to come up with your own individual understanding and interpretation of different topics, aspects of the topic or the subject that you have chosen for research. So research is not simply compiling things, it is rather to make a complete case, to strengthen your own viewpoint, your own arguments, your own ideas on the topic. So this means you are not simply writing down what you have read from others by quoting them or paraphrasing them or summarizing them. Rather, you want to build on these ideas. You want to construct a whole range of ideas on the basis of your understanding of the topic. So this is one thing that must be achieved by a good researcher, even if he is a beginner researcher. His research should not be a compilation, writing down ideas of other people. Rather, he should try to bring in his own ideas. And certainly, these ideas are to be made valid and convincing through analysis and evidence. In the end, I just want to conclude this discussion on crafting a research topic by giving you a summary of different steps that you should do if you are working on selecting a topic and you want to start your research project. So what you need to do is create a document talking about the purpose and objectives in the context of the topic, which means you need to highlight why you are undertaking this research project and what are the objectives and goals that you want to achieve through this research. So with relevance to your topic, you will talk about these things. Write them down. Second, on the basis of your reading, that is presumably extensive and vast, you should prepare an index, or in other words, which we technically call bibliography, of available material on the selected topics. So here bibliography means you mention different works and their significant details, talking about the name of the work, the author, date of publication, where it was published. So you prepare a list talking about all these works that you find relevant to your topic and mention them in the form of a list. And the third is the body of your document for topic approval. That is, you need to write an essay of 3 to 4 pages on each topic. So each topic here means if you have selected more than one topics, because still you are unsure about which topic will be approved by the supervisor. But it does not simply mean to outline any 2-3 topics, rather 2-3 topics of your interest and which you in the first place think are good enough to qualify as topics for research. So prepare 3 to 4 page essay on each of these topics you have selected and talk about the significance of the topic, its scope and limitations, and the proposed approach of study, how you are going to conduct this research. So if you provide this information about the topic, your supervisor will be able to see things very clearly and then he can guide you better. But if your own ideas are vague, there are great chances that your topic will be rejected, because if you yourself are not very clear about it, how will you be able to convince your supervisor? So instead of wasting your time on approaching other people to suggest a good topic for research, what you need to do is decide on your own area of interest, something that you want to explore in detail, because ultimately it should be worthwhile, because you will be spending a lot of time and energy on it, and sometimes even money. So it should be useful for your future. It should be useful for your own maturity and better understanding. So what you should do is settle down, think about those topics. Considering the sources I have discussed in the previous lecture, and find out those aspects which interest you, and then start reading around them to increase your knowledge, to expand your knowledge on those topics, and then create this 4-page document on one or two topics that you have chosen, and obviously approach your supervisor and discuss them one by one. So this is it for today. I hope today's discussion will help you understand things even better. This was a very basic and crucial topic, and I hope you will be utilizing all these ideas in your assignments and term papers. Soon I'm going to assign you to write a term paper, a research paper for your sessional marks. I'll be guiding you about uh, what kind of work you are supposed to conduct, and what are different requirements or instructions regarding that. See you in the next discussion. Thank you.